Well, I'm back in the woods again. That's unusual, huh? Really looking for owls today. I already photographed one deer, but it's just a doe. I went to another area that wasn't very productive. I don't know where they're all hiding right now. They're probably in the big woods where I don't want to be because there's too many people walking in and out with their dogs and whatnot. So I waited till school was done. It's like close to 4, but I'm sure that the police will be called again. But it's just the way it is. No worries. Not doing much wrong. Got a couple beers in my pocket. They're not open. Alright, let's do it. There's a deer. Just a doe. Just checking me out. So fallen trees like this are always good to look through because you'll find arrowheads and they'll get washed out by erosion. Of course, there's a bunch of leaves right now, but the stone is showing its face. So I'm always on the lookout for something. This is over in the area where the guy said the owl's nest fell down, and he called ODNR about it, and the 2 babies got eaten. But that is a perfect owl tree. I'm always trying to find them in the daylight. I don't like using flash that much. I have mastered my flash, but I've also found discrepancies in the Z8 with my SB 910. It doesn't really talk to it very well. I still got to work that out because I really don't want to buy a new flash. I can't. It's broke. That's a good tree right there. And they don't make noise in the daytime very often, so it's even harder to find them. But you gotta always look up, down, all around. Be conscious of your surroundings. Also, I meant to say this earlier. Acorns will fall and hit your lens if you're not careful. So always carry your camera if you have what I call a naked lens, or even if you have a UV filter on it, which I don't like to use because it's more glass, which degrades the image. I do have a magnetic system here. I could put one on if I wanted, but I generally shoot with what I call a naked lens, unless I'm using filters for, you know, different reasons, like on my infrared camera. But yeah, always be conscious of that, you know, if you're walking around with your lens exposed. I just thought I'd add that in, a little tip. But using a filter too also slows down your autofocus system. So if you're using like a non Z lens, or a non-Z lens with the adapter, which makes that slower, now you're slowing it down even more. And sometimes speed, especially with birds, very essential to get your autofocus tack on. I almost photographed a woodpecker, but it's too far away. I like woodpeckers, are cool. Your tongue actually goes up around their brain, so when they're against a tree they don't knock themselves out. Alright, let's find something, man. Another tip is, you know, I'm looking all around, up and down, everywhere. Look out for giant branches or trees hanging on other trees when it's windy like this, because you could get killed or injured by a falling branch. There was a little girl that got killed at a campground. Right there on the campsite, a tree fell over and killed her. It's not cool. So just be aware of your surroundings and always keep an eye out for cops. One of the reasons I wear all this is so I can do this without people knowing I'm out here, because nobody can mind their own business. But I understand, you know, I don't want people illegally hunting. There's too many kids and stuff in this neighborhood. But I'm sure the cops will show up at this school that's over there. They probably won't get out. They'll use their binoculars. And oh, here we go. There's a buck chasing the doe. Let's see if we can get some mount action. I got the piebald mounting one once. He is going after her, man. Oh yeah. Wanting some of that tail. And there's his girlfriend going, stay away from her. But that'd be cool to get a mount. I got a picture of the last piebald mounting a doe. It was in the snow, so there was like a lot of snowflakes in the way. When they get in the rut like this, they pay little to no attention to you at all. Let's see if we can capture this. Oh, they're already over. Here comes a whole herd. I'm gonna keep going in that direction. That might be them, actually. Bump up my ISO, or my shutter speed. Whoa! Shot right past me. Wasn't fast enough on the draw. I'm gonna make sure I'm set for animals. Nope, birds. We'll keep tailing them and see what happens. Still chasing her. Try to get them jumping that tree, but too much stuff in the way. He is not in the mood. But just like any other male, he's persistent. He's gonna chase her down. Just like I'm chasing him down. Comes another doe. Wants to notice me. Got some action shots at least. I'd like to get them jumping one of these logs. Wow. Very persistent. Not a very big woods here, and I'm going to try to flank them. Catch them off guard. I'm not going to give up. I did get one good shot. Let's see if I can hide myself behind a tree or something. Here we come again. There's a little fawn. Mommy! Come on over here. There you go. I'd love to get them jumping a log. I'm gonna hide myself over here. Let's see if I can come back around here. It's starting to tire out. It's like a scene at a bar. How many drinks can I get in her before I can make my move? And if they jump that log, that's perfect. So I switched my camera to a high shooting mode. And I have some really fast cards, and I'm shooting raw. I started shooting raw just instead of shooting JPEG, and oh man, they're going way out of range. I stopped shooting JPEG because with the new Photoshop you can really do a whole lot. Oh shit! You can really do a whole lot. A lot more than you could before. See, I can get her jumping. Oh, no eye to focus on. There's somebody with some dogs over there where they ran to, so maybe they'll come back through here. I'm gonna try to get in a more open area. I really want one jumping the log. A log. I'm wearing sandals today, which is a bad move. I keep getting acorns in my shoe. I got a picture of the real big one hiding over there, which is where I was going to go and see if I could flush them out. And the sunlight's coming in right here. Perfect lighting. Won't have too much more of this because of the lovely month of November. When I think of November, I think of rain, like a Guns N' Roses song. I'm gonna keep trying. This is a good time to have a little beer break. I'm a little overdressed for this endeavor, but I wanted pockets for my beer. I hope they come back. I hope those dogs spook them. So camera gear, I'm using the 180 to 600. It's like 6.3 to 5 point something. Not a super fast lens, but it's all my wallet can afford. And if you really get to know your gear and use it properly, you can come out with some really extraordinary shots. I really like this lens. It's razor sharp. I have the 200 to 500 5.6 that I use with the 850, but the autofocus in that camera is not even close to being up to par with this new technology. So beer is a good asset to have when you're doing this because it'll make you pee a lot, and you want your scent to not be something new and something to be wary about. So pee as much as you can, as often as you can. Another tip is be ready to shoot anything. You have a series of programs that you can put into your camera, which I somewhat have. You can switch in a moment to do different types of photography. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a little bit longer, mosey on over there, and then I'm going to go out into the bright light and go along this tree line all along there and see if I can get some birds. I like birds because they're very challenging. I still haven't found my owl yet. With this lens, I can also do macro, so I'm photographing the seed pod from the other day that have all the milkweed insects on it. So I can get really close, like up to here. I couldn't do that with the 500. Unfortunately, there's nothing in the way of birds at all. One day I was out here, they were everywhere, having a field day, literally. It's a soccer field. But like I said, always have other game plans. Don't just try to do one thing and one thing only. So I'm gonna go back into the woods and keep searching. Not a whole lot of action going on, so I'm gonna have my other deer. I was gonna tell a story. One time I was shooting a buck. I was burrowed down. He had a big gash in his face. He was wore out, and I was so camouflaged. I don't have my ghillie suit on because there's too many briars at this moment. But I was so camouflaged, a coyote just came running up, and when I turned it, point my camera at it, he just like jumped in the air and took off. And sometimes I'm so camouflaged that I'm almost invisible, and it's fun, especially with birds. They have very good eyesight. Guinness Stout. It's great for chilly weather like this. I'm gonna give it like another half hour, wander around a little bit, but, don't get frustrated and give up too easy. And keep coming back to the same spot. If you know it's hot one day, you gotta expect it to not be hot another day. Just don't give up. I'm very patient and persistent. And patience is key to doing wildlife. So this appears to be a little hangout where kids can come and drink. So I'm gonna pick up at least one of these cans. There's nothing living in it. And recycle it and use that money towards buying screws and nails and whatnot for my project. My chicken shack I'm building out in the woods. But this place is pretty dead. I think I'm gonna move on. I'll go to the other school where there's another patch of woods right next to my house, and after that I'll call it. I don't want to go to COP. But then again, I might. So now I'm over behind another school. We got two does here that are checking me out. Not worth shooting. I like to look at them though. Having a big lens is like having a pair of binoculars. And I just like to zoom in and check them out like they're checking me out. If you're cautious and slow, you can get really close to them. Figure I'll take a couple shots. It's not as close as she's gonna let me get. It's a fairly interesting shot. Nothing great. So I'm gonna move on, see if I can flush out a buck. Drink another beer. We got two right over here checking me out. The log in the front is too lit up. What I want is backlit. I want them over here. It'd be cool to get an owl, backlit owl in the daytime. But Keep your expectations low and your serenity will remain high, I was told in Alcoholics Anonymous. And I put that into my daily life. Whatever God wants to grant me, I'll take it. Let me get a shot over here. That log's not all lit up. Too late. Let me do a single. I was just informed by another photographer who's waiting for the eagles to make their presence. There was an eagle here, but it flew off. There's a bald eagle nest here, and they moved the playground out of the way, and you're not allowed to go on it. They have a camera up there. I think they're like 7 or 8 generations now. I was the first to photograph it, and they used my picture to vote on the names, Stars and Stripes, because of America and all that. I don't really shoot the eagles that much. It's like a whole cult, and I let them have their time. You know, people love it. I get bored with it. I already got my shot at building the nest. It took me 15 days to get that photo. I think I've mentioned that before. I'm starting to become redundant. Man, unfortunately, that tree right there that just fell would have been perfect habitat for an owl. And I've seen raccoons in there. Oh, the reason I was talking about the other photographer is he informed me that there's a red raccoon out here somewhere. I have not got a picture of a red raccoon yet. So that'll be my mission. Man, it sucks that that tree fell. I wonder if there was a nest in there. Right here, this hole, that's the perfect opening for a barred owl nest. I actually made one, but I didn't have a place to put it because on the property there's a red-tailed hawk, and they fight for territory. So I didn't want to like mess things up. So I gave it away. Made it out of pallet wood. I'm always building something. That's just what I do. Man, that was a great tree for what I'm searching for right now. I'm looking mainly for owls, and I'm done with the deer. You might think that there's the tree. You might think that, you know, this time of day is a good shooting time. It's probably about close to 5:30, and there's all this daylight. But when you're out here, it is like nighttime. Very little light to go on inside of a canopy of trees. It's another good owl habitat right there. I'm gonna go check that out. I photographed some raccoons there in that tree. They came out to sun themselves in the daytime because there was a big rain, and I guess they were trying to get dry. Raccoons are cool. I like them. They get a bad rap, but they're very intelligent and good photographic opportunity, especially when they're doing mischievous things. That is a good old dead tree right there. What I don't like about this AI stuff is they make these fake videos where these raccoons are real vicious, and also demonize coyotes. But no one in America has ever been killed by a raccoon or a coyote. This was my school as a kid, and I remember this tree. I was probably here since the beginning, 200 years ago. Just a little sprout. Now it's just a stump. The cycle of life. We'll all become stumps one day. But how tall are you going to grow while you're still alive? That's the question. It's easy to die. It's hard to stay alive. So this is the last doe I'll be shooting. I'm over here at Cop now. I'm about 25 feet away. But I've already shot what I wanted. I had some light, some sunlight coming in, which is very dramatic, coming through these trees, and the strong yellows from the leaves. I just saw a bunch running over that way. I figure I only have maybe 10 minutes of light. And as you can see, she's staring at me from behind a tree. That might be a good shot. The backlight. Yeah. Getting some sun flare in the lens. There she goes. Wasn't a great shot. That's kind of like what I'm looking for. That backlit. But I want a buck. And here are some does. Right behind them is a big guy. A big buck. Oh yeah, he's a nice one. The lighting is so low right now though. Oh, and there's another buck behind him. So now I know where all the bucks are. See if we can chase him down. Hopefully she doesn't spook them to run. When they see that tail go up in the air, that's their undivided attention. So the big buck is right over there. There's another one behind him. Let's see if I can get some low light shots, if he'll let me. Yeah, we're gonna get real close. The light is fading. Got a leaf hanging from her mouth. He's sniffing the air. We'll go to 125 at f7.1. At least we found some bucks today. See how close I can get. You gotta wait for their pause because they're shooting at such a low shutter speed. They'll pause and check you out. There we go. And then he's bored. That's a good angle. He moves when I don't want him to. There we go. I'm gonna do a scrape. I'm gonna get a little closer. Nope. Not having it. They're a little bit more shy than the does. I'll keep pursuing just a little bit longer, but the light is so bad right now. I'm gonna hide behind this tree for a second. Yep. He knows he's being pursued. It's a pretty decent buck. I like how the white antlers are such high contrast to the dark environment. He's picking up some scent. It is the rutting season, but we all have to eat. Occasionally, it can't be all fun. I'm doing some full body shots now. Let me go at a lower angle. Makes it more dramatic. Anyone can shoot from eye level. Well, that about does it for our woodland adventure today. I should have come over here first, which is the place I like to go last. But I got maybe 2 good shots. I got him yawning, which is kind of cool. Don't get a shot of that very often. He's bored, actually tired, just like we all are this time of year. It's good napping weather. I did not bring a beer out here. It's not a good place for it. As you can see, the light is diminished, so my camera's shooting the highest ISO, and it's not worth it when you're shooting images you're going to crop anyways. So we will call it. Hope you had fun seeing what's left of nature. I did. It's my therapy being out here. Alright, so next time you grab a beer and watch, I'll grab a beer and go.